Hey, hello, and welcome. I am Debbie Peterson, and this is another episode of Success Without Sacrifice. Today, we are talking about perfectionism and when it becomes a problem for women in leadership. We're going to talk about what perfectionism is, how it gets in your way, and what it is that you can do about it today. So stay tuned. Perfectionism, it's a refusal to accept anything less than perfect. Sounds pretty straightforward, right? But here's the rub. We're human beings and we're not perfect. And we know that nothing in nature is perfect. So why is it that we need to think that we can be better than anything a higher power has already created? Even knowing this in our head, we still can sometimes have a relentless drive to be perfect that keeps us in a highly anxious state. And so let's talk about how perfectionism can get in the way for women in leadership or those who aspire to get there. It slows productivity down. So the first thing is perfectionism slows productivity down because you're always refining the result, trying to achieve perfection. Takes more time. It bogs down decision making because you're afraid of making the wrong one. Have you ever heard of the paralysis of analysis? You're afraid of making the wrong decision or being seen in an unfavorable light. So it bogs down decision making. It keeps you mired in the details because you feel that you have to have your hands around all of the details so that nothing goes wrong. You're in control of all of the details. So it keeps you in that area of the details. And what it does is it keeps you out of that area of vision where you have the opportunity to explore and really tap into your true potential. You don't give yourself a chance to go there because you're always in that place of handling all of the balls, keeping all of the balls in the air. It's a hamster wheel, frankly, and it's stressful and it's time to get off. But what can you do if you're a perfectionist, or if you say that you're a recovering perfectionist, which is what I say? I am a recovering perfectionist. So here are 5 powerful strategies for you to begin to incorporate so that you can reduce or perhaps even eliminate your perfectionistic tendencies and rise in your leadership and life the way that you deserve to. So the very first tip is that develop an awareness of yourself and your thinking. No change can happen without you identifying it first, that it is an issue, that it is something that needs to change. So can you pay attention to when you are being perfectionistic, right? And those feelings of stress and anxiety are going to give you an indicator. Okay. So that's the illumination path to, am I trying to be perfect in this situation? So follow the feelings. It'll give you an indication. And that self-awareness that comes with discovering it is gold. So when you see that you're going into that trap, even if you go into the trap again, but you're aware of it, that is a huge first step. So only with that awareness can you even begin to change the behavior. So that's step number 1. Step number 2, set goals to learn. Instead of, we're so used to setting goals about outcome. I want to achieve this. I desire this. This is where I want to get to. But we forget about the process. So set goals about learning, because if you're only focused on what it is that you want to achieve, then you aren't acknowledging yourself for the things that you've learned. And you've learned a lot throughout your career, your business, your lifetime. And every bit of feedback that you get is an opportunity to learn. And again, that is mining for gold. So it gives you new information that you didn't have before that allows you to up level in where it is that you want to advance. So embrace the learning, set the goals to learn, have an attitude of I'm in it to learn. Number 3, embrace the notion that practice makes permanent. We all start at the beginning. We all start at 0 in situations. We've all started doing something that we've never done before. And so in the beginning, it's not as nice and tight, and we aren't as good at it as we would like to be. But sometimes it keeps us from starting. So my coach says to me, she's fond of the saying that you can't turn a parked car. You have to begin the process. You just have to be willing to go into it. And I know in my keynoting business and even in my coaching business, when I've worked for clients, every single time that I have gone in and done a leadership training, or I've done a keynote, or I've worked with a client one-on-one, there has been a time where I've never done that before. And I had to be comfortable with not being good in the beginning and knowing that the more I did it, the more that practice was going to make permanent. Doing these videos for you, the first video I did, I cringe when I think about it, but know that done is better than perfect, and that the practice, putting in the reps, are going to help make it permanent, not perfect. Okay. Number 4, don't rely on praise. Ask for feedback. So, you can get people liking what it is that you're doing, telling you did a good job. Oh, that was fantastic. But how can you improve? What is the next level? How can you get even better? And that only comes with feedback. So getting comfortable with feedback. Some people, they love getting the praise, but when it comes to getting feedback, they take it personally. And it really isn't, even though it's about you, and yes, it is personal, it's not for you to take personally. It's for you to take what you can, use what you can, learn what you can, and get rid of the rest. Not all feedback in its entirety is destined for you. So learn from the feedback, and specific feedback about how you can improve. That becomes an advantage for you to get better. And then the 5th thing that I want you to focus on, the 5th tip that I have, is focus on the process. Okay. It is a journey. It is not just the outcome, it is the process that you use to get to the outcome. And it is refining that process as you use it to get better at it, to have better outcomes. So value the process for what it is, instead of getting bogged down in the perfectionistic tendencies that keep you from doing that. So anytime you have an opportunity to refine the process, you evolve. And it's your journey. It's not the destination that's going to serve you the most. So focus on the journey. And please know that if you are a perfectionist, or if you have perfectionistic tendencies, this isn't something that you've developed overnight. And it's not going to go away overnight either. These perfectionistic tendencies are rooted in our past experiences, whether that's previous jobs, previous bosses, previous businesses, stories that we carry around that really need to be looked into from when we were growing up, in our adolescence. And perhaps these stories, they just aren't useful anymore. So know that recovering from your perfectionistic tendencies can take a little while. So give yourself the space and the grace to be able to look into the opportunities incrementally, walk back those perfectionistic tendencies and walk into the opportunities that you deserve. So I'm Debbie Peterson of Getting to Clarity. If I can be of good service to you, helping you look toward those opportunities that you deserve and how you're going to get there, let's hop on a call. You can go to claritywithdebbie.com and grab a time that suits your calendar, and I'd be delighted to meet you there. So take care, and bye-bye for now.